So
I think we're actually. I was gonna say I think all of them are in, and I think we were informed that we're actually gonna go right into it here. I'm interested to see the comps as we of course come into Snapper Canal Calamblitz here, a very continuous and standard map that we like to see in competitive modes. Wolfie's gonna be rocking the heavy deco, while on the side of Cataclysm we are going to see a Rapid Blaster actually come out, and that's a very interesting pick on a map like Snapper Canal Drift, because the Rapid Blaster is going to give you that mid-range burst option for a little bit of chip damage, and it seems like there's a lot of bombs on the side of Cataclysm, so maybe they're going to need that Rapid Blaster to help pick off a couple other players.
Yeah, I believe Cataclysm actually is using a different player for this. You can see Oos on the screen, actually, I believe also goes by Shonda, who is currently subbing for them, actually, for this tournament.
Oh, okay, so, and you know what, the Foil Squeezer as well, a great pick, a weapon that I wish we personally see more of here, Drift, because the Foil Squeezer does offer not only that short-range option, but it gives you some long-range killing power as well. And with the fantastic hit the Foil Squeezer has, they're going to be able to push up here. But as you can see, Cataclysm already with the ball. 18 clams on the field, but unfortunately, a couple members of Cataclysm are going to be going down, as Violet's going to be jumping in over here onto Oofs, and they're looking to set up a play right now on this right side, but unfortunately, they're not really able to do it as a flank comes out here from one of the members of Inkjet Inc. Oofs is going to be forced to back up all the way to the snipe.
Yeah, I think Inkjet I think did a really good job there of just holding the map out and just preventing Cataclysm from taking advantage of the control they had, and now it's kind of flipped around, but they are actually back trying to push here with the bubbles here.
Yeah, we're going to see the bubbles come out, so that should be at least one score, as Oofs is able to get the pick onto Wolfie under the basket there. A couple clams going to be coming in from Cataclysm. One of their members, unfortunately, goes down. They had 4 clams, so that's not going to be a very strong opening push. Of course, Drift, as you know, in Clam Blitz, we do like to see that at least 2 power clams and 1 extra clam going on that first push. But the fact that the first score goes to Cataclysm is going to put a little bit of pressure on Inkjet Inc., but as you can see, Wolfie kind of in a bad spot, still manages to get the pick onto Vic there with the power clam. Now just going to try and build some specials. They're going to need these bubbles to push up, and with a 2-down situation, 3 down now, this is going to be big for Inkjet Inc., but Wolfie goes down.
But they still actually score, and I believe it was Prim who did it, but he went down straight away, and they're actually pressing their advantage here a lot better than Cataclysm did at the start, although their control has been taken.
Yeah, I was going to say the control is definitely a little bit better, especially as that push, as you said, Drift, a much stronger push as it was with the Inkjet Inc. push there. But 59 is still, because Cataclysm scored earlier, 59 is actually not that bad of a score for them to get into. They did manage to get under it, and Violet somehow getting Wolfie coming out of spawn there with the Tenta missile, so that's going to be a really important pick here, as maybe Violet going to be coming up under the snipe, looking for the flank here, going to throw a suction bomb, trying to clear the snipe. Doesn't look like there's anybody up there at the moment, but the members of Cataclysm, unfortunately, are pushing in a little bit too soon. They don't really have a lot of clam control right now. They're going to be forced to back up here, I think.
Yeah, you can see here Oofs still just kind of holding this, their left side of the map here, but doesn't really have too much support around them, so really just resorting to throwing bombs and just trying to kind of keep a low profile right now.
Yeah, and it is... In terms of what we've actually seen in terms of both teams' pushes, it's been relatively quiet in terms of how strong these teams are against each other, and maybe that's because these teams are very even, so we're not seeing a lot of these points get scored right away, or it could be the fact that, you know, they want to make the most of their pushes and they're not able to do that. But the whole game really, Drift, has been just a big battle for neutral here, and it's difficult. It seems like it's a little bit more difficult for Cataclysm to win that neutral game. As you can see, 2 more members of Cataclysm go down there. And of course, this is going to be the moment for Inkjet Inc. as Wolfie has the bubbles ready. This is going to be a little bit... I think this is going to be an interesting push, because Cataclysm puts a strong defense here. They shouldn't be able to get a push, but I believe there is a member of Inkjet Inc. wanting to come on the snipe flank in it. There is Rio there, who comes back from behind. Unfortunately, I think gets hit with an ink mine and goes down there. But as we say that, Drift, Inkjet Inc. able to take advantage of the distraction and put their score down to 33.
Yeah, I really like their patience that they did have Wolfie's bubbles ready, but they didn't just try to brute force straight in. They kind of just waited. They tried to move Cataclysm around before they can find their opportunity to score as much as they could.
Yeah, and of course, with 30 seconds left on the clock, Cataclysm is going to have to answer big. A 2-down situation will really help their push coming in here. But look at all the clams, actually. Cataclysm has a lot of single clams. They got 2 power clams. Those are going to go in. They put this score a lot closer. They just need the picks now, and they need to get them. But Inari, unfortunately, the last one alive on the side of Cataclysm, as the rest of them go down, is going to have to be forced to retreat, and that is going to seal the deal. But not quite yet, as Cataclysm will be able to force this into overtime. Looks like they saved a power climb, and Prim getting a little too over eager there, Drift, as 2 members now of Inkjet Inc. go down. 3 members now. This is the opportunity Cataclysm was looking for, but they need to get the jump in now, or they're not going to have enough time to get this score in. This has to break the basket. Is it going to be able to? It is, Drift, and they're only a couple clams away, but they need to get a couple picks here.
Yeah, they just go at 2 down here, but they actually only need 2 clams to win. I think Oops is trying to get them,
and he got him.
He actually does.
That's crazy. I don't know how they didn't manage to pick off Oops there in the last couple seconds there, Drift. But Oops just able to kind of ninja their way up to the bunker and just get a couple clams that were just on top of the bunker. Perfect timing from Oops to come in. And actually look at the KAs. Relatively even on both sides here, so a very even game right to the very last second.
Yeah, I almost thought that Cataclysm's chance to win the game was gone in their second to last push. I believe they might not have seen Miner, who came from behind, maybe possibly distracted by him, but I think preventing Inkjet from scoring at any of the game and actually getting 2 down from that situation really helped them.
Yeah, it absolutely did. And I think what also kind of led to that opportunity for Cataclysm to really make that push is Prim really heavily pushed that ball that Cataclysm had almost instantaneously and was instantly dropped. And not only that, then you had another member of Inkjet Inc. go down very quickly after that. And that immediately put Inkjet Inc. on the back foot, a 2-down situation with Wolfie having already wasted the bubbles. Just more of a defensive play. So unfortunately, because of that, Cataclysm was able to take advantage, get the wipe, and they were able to get the lead. But now we go into a little bit of a different style here, Drift. We're going to be going into some splat zones on Anchovy games. And this map is really about who's got, I would say, the better backline, or who can provide the better push up onto that street section there.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important to take control of the plat area of each of the opponent's side, because it's very, very open in mid, very special heavy when it comes to taking zone.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you know what? It's very, you're right. I will agree to that. It's very special heavy when taking the zone, and we've seen time and time again, you know, Booyah Bombs can decap it instantly. We've seen Suction Bomb Rush hit these zones time and time again. We've seen splashdowns come into this zone. It can get very hectic in the middle, especially with those fans moving, pushing into that up position drift. It doesn't really give you a lot of space to move around in the middle, so it's establishing that early control and pushing up onto your enemy's street. That's incredibly important here.
So I believe Inari has actually switched to the E-Leader, which makes a lot more sense for this mode compared to what she was using before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised. We didn't really get a chance to mention it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually ended up seeing one of the E-Leaders here, and I'm glad we're actually seeing an E-Leader come out of Cataclysm here, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on Inkjet Inc. So they're going to have to basically put a lot of pressure onto that E-Leader before they can even think about moving into the zone. As Prim jumps back, unfortunately jumps into the splat bomb from Oofs, and Cataclysm already in a fantastic position here. And already are pushing up on that street, and that's what you got to do. I love the patience from Oops here to move in with the bubble combo. Just going to put a lot of paint pressure, and Oops is going to use that last bubble to just get the heck out of there. But they've already established so much control here onto the street, onto the platform of Inkjet Inc. Inkjet Inc. is going to have to work back. They're going to have to build some specials. A Booyah Bomb getting popped early on the street, but as Oops go down and another member of Cataclysm goes down, this might be the moment they're looking for to push in. They're able to get the zone, but they still have not been able to pressure that E-Leader drift.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Cataclysm. They're very quick to take advantage and to push up onto the plat immediately, but unfortunately went 2 down, and that was an easy cap for Wolfie with the Booyah Bomb.
Yeah, a very easy cap with Wolfie on the volume up. And then, of course, you have the rest of the members of Inkjet Inc. on the back foot there. But Miner in a little bit of a troublesome situation. You can see the E-Leader laser, and, of course, Inari on the E-Leader is providing a massive problem, I would say, right now for the members of Inkjet Inc. While they're able to get the zone momentarily, Inari just has to put a couple shots on the zone and it's instantly decapped. But Miner gets 2 really important picks, and this is the pressure that Inkjet Inc. is looking for immediately here as my phone is going off telling me I have a message drift. I don't know why it's doing that right now. We'll answer that later.
Yeah, this is... You can already see that this is, as the map plays out, this is definitely a game of pushing up to their plat and preventing them from really just going straight to the zone and using their specials without any resistance.
Yeah, that I think, that's most of... I would say on a map specifically like Anchovy Games Drift, it's a little more... We mentioned it was special heavy, but in terms of getting picks, it's really, with Anchovy Games, the splat zones very specifically. As you said, you mentioned it, it's about using the specials basically uncontested on the zone, and the first team to be able to do that is going to provide a lot of pressure because the enemy team isn't going to be able to move back in here. And as you can see, Cataclysm quick to retake the zone here, but unfortunately, Inkjet Inc. did kill quite a lot of points on the clock there, as Oops is going to be able to move back up here. And unfortunately, not going to opt to push up any further as they're just going to provide a little bit of bomb support from the back, especially having that extra range with the foil squeezer and Inari backing you up. They're going to be in a really good spot to hold the zone and kill their penalty and start getting some points. But of course, now here come the members of Inkjet Inc. A couple specials coming out of the zone, but it's not going to be enough right now. They need to find a pick as 2 members, unfortunately, though, of Inkjet Inc. ended up going down. I think this might be Cataclysm retaking the lead here, but Rio, I believe it's pronounced Rio, staying alive here is going to have to pull a desperation move to decap the zone, and they're able to get it there, Drift. I think a couple bombs helped with that as well.
Yeah, I believe Oos went down the zone at the very last there, and that was enough to shift the zone over to Inkjet Dunning's side just in time, though.
Barely in time, too, but they do have a bit of a penalty to work through, though. But Rio is popping off right now with, of all weapons, the K-Shot. We love to see the good old K-Shot popping off, getting those doubles, getting those triples. And now the pressure, once again, is back on Cataclysm to build some specials, get some picks, as both the K-Shots actually go down on either side. And Prim, unfortunately, misses the jump. Prim, you're not supposed to do that. You've made that jump 9 times out of 10. I guess that was the 10th time. So I guess you had to miss the jump there. But a lot of pressure still coming out here from Inkjet Inc. And as I said, Drip, I kind of want to see a Game 3. Are we going to see that Game 3? We are.
I just want to note at the very end, Prim did a really good job of adjusting. Even though he missed the jump, instead of actually just trying to do it again after Cataclysm probably found out where he was, he decided to rotate onto the right side, and getting the pick there on Violet, I believe, was very important to finishing the game off.
Yeah, the picks were incredibly important, and you said the patience from Prim there, able to rotate into a much better position, able to rotate into a much more suitable position, and as you said, get those extra couple picks, and that really allowed them to secure the zone, not allowing Cataclysm to move back in. Of course, as Inkjet Inc. gets the good old knockout, we are going to be going to tower control on Starfish main stage. This is... I don't know. I've heard some people like this stage drift. I've heard some people like or don't like this map mode combination. I'm kind of on the fence personally with Tower Control Starfish main stage. It can get a little bit hectic in that street area specifically, and I guess that's why I don't like it. But at the same time, if you are the team that is actually putting that pressure on the street, I like the map. So it really is a matter of controlling the street in this map. And with it being so thin, I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe saw a couple Rellas come out here. I don't think Wolfie will opt to change, maybe off that heavy. If they're going to go heavy, maybe Stingray, just for tower control specifically. It's just a nice added pressure tool there.
I believe also this map is very centralized around each other's snipe as well, because the tower actually, for almost the whole path, actually goes around that.
Yeah, it does. It literally, you go the furthest point away to the furthest point closest to your opponent's snipe, and that does make it difficult to actually win on this. And it really comes down to that second checkpoint on Starfish main stage here, because you have to not only ride that all the way to the enemy's, basically to the enemy snipe drift, as you said, but then it's a matter of actually clearing the snipe, and that's a tough ask. As we get a first look at the comps here. Drip, what do you see coming out of Inkjet Inc. here? Actually, opting to bring the custom jet squelcher. I actually really like that pick here.
Yeah, you did call it as well that they would bring out a Stingray just for tower control, and Custom Jet, I believe, is something that it's been around, but it's more prominent recently due to the very low cost of Stingray and its ability to actually build up pretty quickly, even though it might not be the quickest painting weapon, but it does actually paint for a special very fast.
Yeah, it does. And I think you have the burst bombs added to the kit as well, so that just adds to the painting power of the Jet Squad. So having that ranged option is great, but unfortunately, you are getting outranged in this case by the heavy of Cataclysm. But at the moment, the heavy remix of Cataclysm has not been able to do anything. But here comes Oops with the dual squad, just looking for a pick there. Saw a couple on the tower, but knows that they rotated over. Is looking for maybe a pick or two. Unfortunately, not able to get it with the Inkjet and the Kensa Sloshing Machine coming in. Inkjet Inc. is really putting on a clinic on how to lock this area down.
Yeah, with Miner on the snipe, and Miner actually able to hit angles from that area, and even just use the splashdown right there. Really key, just to keep this push going, and just peg back Cataclysm.
Yeah, and Inari's in such a bad spot right now, not able to move around to the exact portion they need to, but able to get a pick here. As, of course, Inkjet Inc. is already at the last checkpoint. 3 members are there. There's no resistance. Wolfie goes down on the tower, though. 3 members down. Miner's last one alive, and Inari manages to save the game there after being pressured for the longest time from that, unfortunately, from the top stage there. And now it's gonna be the chance for Cataclysm to push up.
Yeah, that was really important for Inari to get that, because as a Splatling, if you don't have a charge, it's actually really difficult to shoot down a splashdown on reaction, but luckily Inari actually did have a charge, so this game can actually go on a little bit longer, at least.
Yeah, but this is a very tough ask for Cataclysm in this position. You have not killed basically a single checkpoint on this map yet. You're not even through or to the most important checkpoint on this map, which honestly is checkpoint number 2. And that is going to be difficult, so Cataclysm is going to need to find some picks here as we basically are halfway through this game here, Drift. Cataclysm hasn't really come awake yet. We saw that in game 1. They really came awake and they really controlled it. But if Inari can get one of these key picks, they might be able to move in, but here comes the Inkjet pressure once again, and that Inkjet gets taken out, so this might be the moment Cataclysm is looking for, a 3-down situation. Inari going to be the one to jump onto the tower here, Drift, and now it's Cataclysm's turn to push up.
Yeah, they finally have some control of mid, which they haven't managed to have this whole game. And, well, with less than 2 minutes left, they're really going to have to make something happen here.
I don't know if you saw that, but on the right side there, kind of in the pit area, no members of Inkjet Inc. went down with the Inari being there with the heavy. And, of course, the Tentamus was coming out. But a flank comes out, able to take Inari off the tower. Violet, the last one alive on Cataclysm, is trying to fight for their life before they get taken out, unfortunately. And as you said, Drift, they had control for a short while there, but look how fast the members of Inkjet Inc. are able to take this control back. And they're pushing up with the tower here, which you need to do when you reestablish mid-control. But now, what I like seeing about Inkjet Inc. and what they've done this entire game is they've really pushed way forward in front of the tower. They're not really concerned about the flanks. They're very confident in their ability on the player on the tower to call out those flanks for them. But as I say that, 3 members go down. The commentator's curse is real, Drift.
Yeah, I think Inkjet just did the right thing. Just tried to keep pushing the tower to make sure that if Cataclysm ever got the control back, they have a much longer way to turn this game around.
Yeah, and it looks like Violet getting a really important pick there. Needs to get 2, does find the second one, does have enough health to maybe get the third. They did get the third, and now this is going to be Cataclysm able to get through the second checkpoint. I think there's actually 4 on this map. I honestly forget. It's been so long. Sometimes I think it's only 3 though. But Cataclysm is able to get almost around to that second checkpoint, but of course all the members of Inkjet Inc. are back up, so they are going to have to be fighting here for a little bit of control. Vic Billet on the tower, unfortunately not able to secure any kills there as 2 members go down. Violet gets picked. There are 6 seconds left on the clock, and I think that is a delayed wipe. That should be game, and Inkjet Inc. is going to take this in a best of 3.
That was an absolutely amazing set, actually. Even though Cataclysm went really far behind in game 3 there, they did well enough to hold Inkjet Inc. off from just knocking it out, and they kind of made a game. They did actually have a decent amount of control near the end, but unfortunately just didn't have enough time to keep going.